Hey, this is John here, bringing you an update on the markets as well as some new stocks to look out for and some potential trades for tomorrow. I also want to go over some of the other trades we had talked about yesterday. So I first want to look at the SPY and just point out where we are right now. We can see that today we've had another update. We had some more buyers come in, and it looks like we've broken through that declining 10-day moving average. We're also above the declining 5-day moving average. You can't see that on this chart, but the 5-day moving average is starting to slope sideways. It looks like we might be heading up to that 50-day moving average or maybe the 20-day moving average. Those are still some big areas where we might find some resistance. So keep that in mind, but it looks like tomorrow we could probably still see some buying. On that note, I want to go over some of the other stocks that I had talked about yesterday. Let's take a look at Agen real quick. I had said that I think you could purchase this one if it got above, let me zoom into a shorter time frame, if it got above this area at around 85. It hasn't broken that area yet, but the stock is looking pretty good. Let's see what the 5-day moving average looks like. All right, here we go. 5-day moving average is starting to slope up, and this stock is looking pretty good. I think you want to keep this one on your watch list still. I think if it can break this 84, 85 area, I think this stock definitely has some room to keep going. Let me see if I can get let's go to the 60-minute chart. Okay, so we can see this better. All right, yeah, I think if this stock can break that area around 85, I don't see a reason why we couldn't see another test of these highs up here at about $1. So that could be a pretty good mover for us. Again, we just want to make sure if you do get into this, make sure you keep a really tight stop and keep an eye on that 5-day moving average. Next, let's go over Jazz, J-A-Z-Z. This stock looked really good early on in the day. It was really powerful right off the bat. Then it kind of settled in a little bit, pulled back, and popped back up. It looks like it might be testing this area. Might be testing it as resistance, so tomorrow we might gap down. 5-day moving average is down here, so we're still trading above it, which is nice to see. And maybe the 5-day can start to turn up here, and then we can start to see this stock move forward. So right now, I would say it might even be a good re-entry at around this level if it can get back above here. But if you are involved in the stock, I would make sure that your stop is pretty tight. I wouldn't give it much more room than down here. I'd get out of the stock if price decides to break down past this previous level of support. Want to go over SBGI. SBGI I had pointed out yesterday because of this really textbook cup and handle pattern, and I said that we might see some further buying because this was such a pretty apparent pattern. Here's the cup, here's the handle, and we broke that neckline, and we got some big buying yesterday, and it looks like today we continued to go higher. So this stock looks to have some strength in it. Not that much volume on today's action, so I'd be cautious with this, but we might be able to see some more. The other one that I wanted to look at was SCSS. Now, this was the big winner today. I had pointed out yesterday about this cup and handle pattern that we had seen in SBGI, and I said this, if this breaks, there's a good chance that this thing could run. And I mean, look at what happened. We had a huge volume day, huge volume spike, and almost a 10% rally, a 10% move right here, and that was just huge. I hope you guys got involved in this stock. I hope that my advice really brought you this idea and allowed you to see the potential here for this one. This one broke really nicely. It could definitely continue tomorrow. If you do own the stock, if you have a position open, really guard those profits. The stock looks great. I mean, it just rocketed up here. So that was definitely a good one. And if you're going to stay in it, just make sure you hold on to those profits. Don't give anything back. Let's go over ASH. ASH is still kind of grinding around over here. I definitely think that if we can break this level at about 43.88, we can still get that move up to about 46. Yeah, about 46. Not that big of a percentage mover, but I think if this gets broken, I think we're definitely going to go and retest this area. Let's go over WMB. WMB I suggested as a long play based off of this trend line right here. I said to buy it if we got a bounce. We clearly got a bounce from that trend line. Started on Monday. Tuesday we can see we're still going up. This one looks pretty good. I would be cautious if we get all the way up to this area. I might suggest taking some profits in there, as this could be a little inverted head and shoulders that might form. But I would definitely guard this position because this could keep going. This could break through this area, and this head and shoulders that I'm pointing out just might not happen at all. But definitely be aware that that's a possibility. And, if the broad market is selling off, that head and shoulders pattern is more likely to develop. So just keep that in mind. Let's go over WFT. WFT is suggested as a short, but also a possible long if it had broken down past this black line right here. It clearly didn't. We got a bounce from there. I'm going to take this one off the watch list. I don't really like what I see. It's kind of not doing anything, so let's move on to the next one. MGM, I'm going to zoom into a smaller time frame. We finally did break above that 5-day moving average. It's still not doing too much here. I still want to see it break 1237. We'll zoom up to a daily time frame and get a better look at this. I still want it to break this area right here, and then I think we're definitely going to be in for a ride. So let's keep an eye on this one still. ALD, again, still needs to do some work. Still needs to break this level. All right, and these next ones that I'm going to go over are the new ones for tomorrow that I think you guys should keep an eye on. VG is the first one. VG looks pretty decent. I think it's going to need some time to develop still. And I really want to see it break this 164 area. And I think if it can break this area, I think it can definitely get up to these levels at around $2. So I think this could be a big percentage mover. And I think it could go really quick. And the reason why I say that is because we can see these days here where price has just skyrocketed. It's just exploded on these days. And I definitely think that we could be seeing another one of those develop. Keep an eye on the volume. If we get big volume coming in here, that could be an indication that it's about to occur. Next one is AAC. And AAC is interesting. It's a little thinly traded for my taste, but it's definitely one to keep an eye on, especially if it gets moving. I think it could be a good day play. But I like the fact that we've seen these huge rallies, and then it's kind of consolidated, and then, again, another rally has occurred on larger volume. So I think this one might be setting up, might be consolidating in here. Zoom down to a 15-minute time frame. It's hasn't met that 5-day yet, but maybe once it touches that 5-day, it'll get going. So I think a buy above this level, you might want to wait and give it a buy above 119. But I think if the stock starts going that way, you might want to buy it for a day play. But again, really tight stops because these things can move in the opposite direction really quick. The other one I want to talk about, SOMX. SOMX. Again, this was an interesting one because it had gapped lower and then it had gapped higher. I think it's still setting up here nicely though. I like that not that much volume is coming in this consolidation, and I like the way that it's holding up above this 5-day moving average. So I think if we can get a push above this area at 235, I think we could definitely see some continued upside. But again, this would only be a day play, maybe 2 days at max. Last one I want to talk about is RF. RF. The one thing I like about this is the long-term base. This kind of reminds me of ALD and MGM. And look at, this base pattern, these higher lows that are forming, this clear resistance that it keeps testing. This is what I like to see, and I think that we could definitely see a push through this in the next couple days. Going down to the daily time frame, it's not quite there yet. It's still got to overcome this area right here, and it looks like it might be finding a little bit of resistance. But I think we want to keep an eye on this, and I think this could definitely turn around. Noting the 5-day moving average, it's sloping upwards. Stock's kind of pulling back here. You might even be able to purchase this stock if it comes down and touches that 5-day, that 5-day acts as support, and then the stock continues up, that might be a good buying point, and then putting your stop right underneath that 5-day, only risking a couple pennies. But that might be a good early entry for this position. All right, those were the ideas. I hope this helped you guys out, and I will be back more tomorrow with an update on the positions, so good luck trading tomorrow.